Jordan Dunlap joins us live from the Franklin County Courthouse with the recap of opening statements and what we can expect to hear today. Jordan.
Good morning, Matt and Monica. This case is one that's garnered national attention, and on Wednesday, the prosecution and the defense got a chance to speak with the jury for the first time. Now, the prosecution in this case is trying to prove that Casey Goodson was not a threat and that Meade was reckless with his actions. On the other hand, the defense wants to prove that Meade feared for his life, so he shot Goodson in self-defense. According to the prosecution, up until the shooting, it was a normal day for Goodson on December 4th of 2020. When Meade shot him, Goodson was facing toward his house and walking into the door with Subway sandwiches for his family. Goodson was shot in the back 6 times, and the defense argues that Meade saw Goodson waving a gun around in a car, which prompted him to follow him. Meade claims to have yelled at Goodson, telling him to drop the gun multiple times, and says that he only fired his gun because Goodson turned around and pointing a gun at him.
The evidence is, we're going to show it, the defendant did it. That the defendant acted intentionally. The defendant acted knowingly. That the defendant acted recklessly.
The theme of this case, ladies and gentlemen, is one of justification. And that is because the evidence will show that on December 4th, 2020, Jason Meade was justified when he made the decision to use deadly force.
Now, Goodson's family members have been present here in the courtroom all week, visibly filled with emotion as they replay this unimaginable day. And again, testimonies are set to begin here at the Franklin County Courthouse later this morning. We're local for you here in Columbus. I'm Jordan Dunlap, NBC4.
Jordan, thank you. Happening today, after a day of opening statements from the defense and the prosecution, witness testimony will get underway in the murder trial of Jason Meade.
Yeah, Meade shot and killed Casey Goodson Jr. more than 3 years ago, and Jordan Dunlap joins us live from the courthouse with what comes next in this case. Jordan.
Matt and Monica, later this morning, the jury is expected to hear from its first witnesses as the prosecution and the defense are hoping they'll be able to prove their side. Now, the jury in this case is made up of 8 women and 4 men who on Wednesday heard 2 completely different stories of what happened December 4th of 2020. The prosecution is trying to prove that Casey Goodson was not a threat and that Meade was reckless with his actions when he shot him in the back 6 times. The defense wants to prove that Meade feared for his life, so he shot Goodson in self-defense. They say Meade saw Goodson waving a gun around in the car, which prompted him to follow him. But Meade says that he warned Goodson to drop the gun multiple times before opening fire. Both the prosecution and the defense say that evidence will show the truth, and throughout the trial there will be dozens of witnesses from both sides. The prosecution is set to bring in Goodson's dentists, forensics experts, coroners, and use of body camera footage worn from other officers that day. And the defense is set to bring in other marshals who were working with Meade that morning, as well as eyewitness testimony from a neighbor.
This is not justification. But remember, they have to prove it. They have to prove it, that it was. Our evidence will show beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty of the charges that we've charged him with.
Mr. Schroyer just told you that Casey Goodson wasn't a threat on December 4th, 2020. Now, his own witnesses